there's something that's happened. You made a shift from being a $500,000 agent that was poddling away, you know, and carrying a few extra kilos. Actually, not a few. I mean, 40 kilos is a significant amount of weight, right? And you decided to change your life. And you said to me this morning, Tom, I clearly remember the day. So what happened on that day? Let's talk about that day. What happened?
So I didn't start real estate with any money. I was literally dead broke. I was negative 50,000 in the bank account. And a year in, I was still paying my debts, and I was going all right. But I was broke. I remember I had $2.50 in my bank account, plus negative, 40 grand or whatever in the bank. And I was going to an appraisal. I was on my way to an appraisal, and I woke up in that morning and my fuel light was on in my car. No money for fuel. Called my mum, asked her for some fuel money. She couldn't transfer any money that day. And I remember I was going to one of the biggest appraisals I've ever gone to. I just sold one of the biggest houses I've ever sold in Ipswich, which is only 750, which is pretty big out here. Like, you're looking at the fuel light and you're thinking, I don't think I'm going to get to this appraisal. So I pulled into the servo at Brookwater and I put in $2.53 or whatever I had on my card. I put that in my car. I was dressed in a suit. I was wearing, I was driving my piece of crap car. I used to have to kick the bumper in. And I went in and I paid. And the lady, I still remember her. She looked at me and she just looked at me like, why are you putting $2.50 fuel in your car? And in that moment, for me, I remember it was the most, just all my confidence, just everything just gone. It was really, really low. And I remember I jumped in my car and I drove down the road. I get a bit sad talking about it now when you think about it. And I remember I just cried. I remember I cried, and sorry, I didn't swear. Sorry, real estate Jim.
No, that's all right.
And I remember I just cried, and I cried for probably, I'm on the way to a listing presentation. I cried for probably 2 minutes, and just something came over me where I was like, I'm better than this. I can be better than this. I'm going to be the best that I can be. So I called my best mate up, and I just called him, and he could hear that I was upset, and he was like, you okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. I said, I'm 100%. I'm all good. I said, I'm calling you right now to promise you and to promise myself that I'm going to be so successful. From here on, from right here, right now, I'm going to make it. And I, from that month on, I listed 4 properties every single month. I made a leap the next year. And that was my moment. So I think and I went to an appraisal after that, wiped my eyes. They had no idea, you're not going to tell them you had an absolute mental breakdown. That's the thing with this real estate thing, everyone thinks that it's the most easy journey, but it's not. You go through so many ups and downs, and you've just got to kind of level yourself. And, I walked into an appraisal, got the business, got the $600,000 house and ended up selling it. So yeah, that was the big turning point in me and for me in my life. And that's where, I turned everything around.
So Jordan, what you've said to me is a common denominator I've seen in people, not just in the real estate industry, but anywhere in the world that has changed their life. It appears there's a point where the pain of suffering is no longer bearable, and that you're sick and tired of actually feeling a specific way. And what happens is it's painful enough for you to want to change. A lot of the times when it's not painful enough, you're not happy, but you put up with it because it doesn't hurt as much. So what's happened is on this particular day, the $2.53, the service station, it's like looking at that person in the survey was a reflection of your life. And that is, this is a shit life. I'm a lot better than this, physically and, commercially. And how long ago was that?
That would have been 2 years ago now. So I think in those moments, you kind of, you realize that it's all on you, right? It's not on anybody else. Like if you want to make it, it's up to you. It's not because, people make the biggest excuses for themselves. Oh, it's too hard to get listings, or it's too hard to get sales, nobody knows who I am, all of those types of things. Like it's all just crap. Like at the end of the day, you make a decision, you commit to the decision. And once you commit that you're going to be something, you don't let anything stand in your way. I still go through ups and downs just like everybody else. And I'm sure, when I started, like I said to you in my last video, I used to watch Real Estate Gym every single day. The hardest part, truthfully, the hardest part in this whole job is to go from 0 to like probably 300. Once you get to 300, to go from 300 to 1 million is easy. It's just fine tuning your processes and fine tuning your business and getting on top of your discipline.
It's given you a test drive of Real Estate Gym. Let me tell you, if you're a subscriber and a member of the gym, you'll be getting videos from our co-coaches all the time. You'll be getting mentors, you'll be getting scripts, you'll be getting dialogues, you'll be getting templates, and most importantly, My Prospector, your personal accountability system to make more calls, get more appointments, get more listings. From around $10 per week, realestategym.com.au, your personal coach.